Hey there everyone, another video from Alpha Tutorials. This is the second video of the responsive web design series about how does responsive design work. So, before we get started, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel. Now, let's get started. The most useful technique is to use flexible layouts when you're working on a responsive website. That means using proportions or percentages to determine sizes of each element rather than using pixels or fixed sizes. Okay, so we will go through the basics of using flexible layouts. CSS3 includes a few layout options that were created with responsive web design in mind. The main modules that you use are grid layout. Grid layout enables you to create two-dimensional grid-based layout systems that divide sections of your markup into rows and columns. The elements contained in the grid can be positioned in flexible layout or in fixed layout depending on decisions that developers or designers take. Grid layout is one of the most powerful options for positioning elements in pages. The second one is multi-columns. Multi-columns is used to create a column-based layout. When a multi-column layout is used, elements flow from one column to another depending on the configurations you use in CSS3. You can control the gap between the columns, the number of columns, column width, and more. Third one is flexible box. In short, we call it flexbox. Flexbox is used to position boxed elements within a containing element. Flexbox helps to control how the elements relate to one another in aspects like flow, direction, space between two elements or within two elements, control box size according to containing element changes, and more. Now about media and images. Normally, images are always displayed in fixed size. This leads to a problem. What's gonna happen when the containing element is smaller than the image or media? Can you guess? In most situations, the image or media will overflow out of the containing element. So, in order to avoid these situations, you can use the CSS max width property and set its value to 100%. If the image or media size is larger than the containing element, it will get all the width of the containing element and won't overflow. Media queries. Media queries are the CSS rules that are used to detect media features. Media queries can help to tailor the CSS to any device by identifying its media using a specific query, such as its width, its height, and its resolution. A media query consists of a type, such as screen and print, and a zero, along with more expressions to check against the media. Once the expressions evaluate to true, the CSS rule is applied. Media queries are mostly used in CSS with @media rule. The @media rule enables the style of blocks that are applied if the query returns true. A good practice is to put the media queries at the bottom of the CSS files in order to use the cascading behavior of CSS. When designing pages, you will use combinations of all these techniques in order to create a responsive web design. I'll use Sublime Text or Notepad++ or maybe simply Notepad sometime from my next video on. You guys can use whatever text editor you want. First, you need two separate documents, one for HTML and one for CSS. I'll always prepare that before starting a new video. If you guys don't know how to do it, there's a link in the description, follow it and you will get to something helpful on that. So everyone, that's all for today. We will start coding later from the next video on. So stay tuned for upcoming videos on this series. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you.